I bet right now you're trying to make a quick judgment on what my political affiliation is so that you can decide if I'm right or wrong in what I'm about to say. If I'm in your party, I am right and you will champion me. If I'm not in your party, you will have vitriol for me, a person you have never met and have never even heard of. And you don't even know what I want to say yet. If I was right and you are stuck in that trap, you might be willing to lower or trade your humanity to whatever the lowest common belief is in your political party, right or left. And that's a big problem because humanity should transcend political party. And before you were a conservative, before you were a Democrat, before you were whatever your political affiliation is, you were a child with a basic understanding instilled in you of right and wrong. So please, for just a few minutes, put down your pitchforks, put down your megaphones, and just listen to one message that I have to say. And if it helps, pretend I'm a foreigner who doesn't know anything about the politics in this country, or pretend I'm just some kid who doesn't even know what a Republican or a Democrat are or what their belief systems are. All of us at one point were that, and we all had one thing in common, and that's where I want to take us today. Let's start with some common ground that honestly everyone knows at some point in their life and maybe later move away from it. Let's pull ourselves back to this common ground. At some point in your life and everyone's life, unless you're truly a sociopath, everyone at some point believed that killing another person because of something they said or something they believed is wrong. Not just wrong, but evil. Outright evil. There should be no trading of examples of other evils to justify this one. And the reason is the lowest form of evil that a person can walk out their door and do right now is to just go kill someone. There's nothing more evil than that. This should be a non-debatable baseline truth for everyone, regardless of political affiliation. We have seen this evil committed on both sides. Neither side is the virtuous side. Both sides have problems. And if you think that you're on the virtuous side and that killing someone for their words or their beliefs is justified, that's really what I want to talk about today. How did you lose your humanity for something that we all know to be evil? When we're born, our humanity is first and foremost the only thing we have. And throughout our life, it should be first and foremost the only thing we protect and we trust. Too many people have signed over their humanity as collateral to be used by their political affiliation on the right and on the left. Too many people reserve the use of their humanity only for people who agree with them, making everybody who disagrees with them subhuman and selling half of their humanity for what? For politics? People, think about this. Politics have, from the foundation of their origin, been innately woven with seeds of corruption, evil, and a total disregard for humanity in general, on the right and on the left. Signing over your best gift and most valuable asset, your humanity, to a system that has a total disregard for it is a mistake. It's a mistake because we're not in a political war. We're in a spiritual war. A war of good and evil. And we all should take a second to recognize that there is good and evil in all political parties. So this isn't a political war. It's a war of good and evil. Let's talk about evil. Evil is insidious, and it finds its way into us by any means necessary, usually a slow creep so that we don't notice it working its way through us. First, it corrodes and dissolves its way through us until it can find our core, our humanity. Once it finds it, it starts to infect it and to corrupt it, so that you can slowly believe that your value system, your humanity, is being enhanced by it, when the truth is it's being completely compromised and your humanity has now become inhumanity, parading around as something better. If you understand this, then you should also understand this isn't a time for us to stand up for a political party. This is a time to stand up for humanity. If you find yourself cheering for and welcoming the lowest and most evil acts doable, your humanity and your core have been corrupted. This is not a fringe thought or a crazy idea. Welcoming, cheering for, celebrating the most evil acts that you could go do is evil. On the other side, if you find yourself wanting to take some vigilante justice against someone who has traded their humanity to do something evil, your core has also been corrupted. You cannot fight evil with evil. In a spiritual war, fighting evil with evil, it's all on the same side at that point. The only way that the spiritual war is won is with good, is with humanity. There is no other way. So like I alluded to in the beginning of this video, my political affiliation in this moment in time shouldn't have a damn thing to do with my message, and it really doesn't. You should measure my message and internalize it, and do this in isolation of whatever your political affiliation is. Because this isn't a political video, and it shouldn't be thought of from a political standpoint. Because this is a war and there are so many people corrupted on all sides, I'm certain that this video calling out the war, calling out evil, is going to be met with a lot of hate. These are basic things that I'm saying. Murder is evil. Evil should always be condemned. Calling for evil, cheering evil on, no matter how good you think your cause is also evil. For this, I will be met with hatred. But take a minute and really just think about that. Murder is evil. Celebrating evil is evil. This is basic. Nobody should have a problem with this, but a lot of people will. And a great way to gut check what you might think is a good cause, if that good cause requires an evil act for the cause to be successful, you do not have a good cause. The most sinister aspect of this war of good and evil is that the children are the main targets for corruption. The most easily corrupted are the youth. The means of corruption is primarily the internet. No children become corrupted to evil because they spent too much time outside or learned too many new skills or hobbies, or they had too many talks with grounded parents or guardians. Don't get me wrong. Too many talks with people who are already corrupted is also a way to corrupt the youth. The war for good and evil will be won or lost by our children. I believe that the vast majority of people in this country still have their humanity intact, or at least their humanity is salvageable where it is right now, with some tender love and care for it, with some deep reflection on what their belief system is and what drives it, and on how they would feel if their belief system called for an evil act. Don't raise a Democrat. Don't raise a Republican. Those are just compromised vehicles incapable of sustaining long-term humanity. You don't know what those two parties will represent in 1 or 2 or 3 decades. Raise children who have immense humanity and are unshakable in what evil is. Raise children incapable of employing evil to accomplish good. If all of this still boils down for you to figuring out or predetermining what my political affiliation is, you've missed the mark. I hope that there's something somewhere that you can see or hear that causes you to transcend political parties and to just reevaluate what humanity is and how it should be applied unilaterally across everybody, no matter what they say or believe. If this video has been helpful to you, caused you to think a little bit differently about things, and you think it might be beneficial for more people to see, then please help me with that. I'm a new content creator. Barely anybody's going to see this without help. Like the video, add a comment with your thoughts, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. And maybe we can get more people to stop thinking about politics so much and to think a little bit more about humanity. Thanks. I'm Brandon. We'll see you in the next video.